Welcome to the MBU Football Coaches Show. My name is Guy Danoff, and I'm joined with Coach B. Coach, I think we saw a little history last Saturday, not just the fact that we were celebrating the 10-year anniversary of MBU football, but how about the fact that they may have been the greatest first half of MBU Spartan football?
Yeah, we came out really sharp. That was something that we had talked about over the last couple of weeks, is just our slow starts and kind of feeling our way into the game. And I was really excited how the guys came out and just took charge right away and were dominant throughout that first half.
Well, you were so dominant that the score at halftime was 52-7. And I have to ask the question, because I ask you every week, what did you say to your team at halftime?
Well, just that we were proud of how they played. Really, at that point, we knew that we were going to start getting some of the second-team guys in, some of the younger guys in.
Right.
So a lot of that discussion at halftime was that we were going to do one more series at the start of the half with the first team,
right,
on both sides of the ball, and then we're going to start working guys in. So just making sure that everybody was ready to go, that they knew what was going on.
Right. Right.
I think the biggest thing, and credit to the staff on checking all the boxes, making sure we were detailed, is special teams.
Yep.
Because when you start subbing guys in, there's some confusion about how you do with special teams. So we made sure that everybody knew who was going in special team situations, right, but that we were going to start rolling guys in as that game went on.
Yeah. So just a quick recap for you Spartan fans. The Spartans took a commanding lead. As we said, they scored 52 points, but what was really amazing is the very first time ever, every time you had the ball, you scored.
Yeah.
And also, what was even more amazing is then you come out at half and you're talking about, okay, first team, you get to start the half, one play, 75 yards, take it to the house. Lionel Banks finished today with 2 touchdowns, 177 yards, with the start the second half on that 75-yard gorgeous sprint down the sideline.
Yeah, well, at halftime, he was 5 yards shy of 100.
Okay.
At halftime, and so he had talked to Coach Heck of, hey, let me try and get 100 yards.
Sure.
And so Coach Heck told him that he had one carry. He would give him one carry to start the second half, and the rest is history. He took it all the way. So, I thought the offensive line all day did a really good job. Lionel and Jared obviously ran tremendous.
Yeah.
And then as we got those younger guys in, I thought all the backs ran great. Jordan Kern, Phil Jordan, Tommy Gabar, Jaden Gibson, they all ran really hard.
They did.
In the second half. So it was fun to watch them.
So I'm going to have you talk on a few just breakout performances. I got to need my glasses for this one. Jordan Simpson, 5 touchdowns, 193 yards. But what was really amazing is connection with Shane Becker. Shane, 3 touchdowns, 141 yards, and certainly one of the touchdowns, he actually had a sky for it.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that connection between Simpson and Becker, because it just seems like they were on the same page.
Yeah, I think that the longer you work with somebody, the timing is huge.
Right.
And that's something that Jordan and myself and Coach Heck were even talking about before the game, is that when there's injuries and there's new guys, it's hard for him to get on the same page.
Right.
But when you have that consistency with Shane and with Joe White and Julian and some of those guys out there, it helps your quarterback be successful. He knows where Shane's going to be, trusts him to go make a play.
Right.
I think every single day, all of those guys, but talking about Shane, they go out and make those plays in practice. That just builds his confidence. Jordan knows that those guys are going to go make a play for him, and he had a tremendous day. Jordan set a new record with 5 TDs in a game, and Shane tied a record with 3 receiving touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing. And just to kind of wrap up the touchdowns, obviously Julian Williams, another one of your wide receivers, had a beautiful touchdown. Then you also had Jared Stewart. I don't know what you did. You guys change his cleats? Because he didn't slip at all.
Yeah, no, he's really running at a high level.
He is.
It's getting used to the speed of things. I think early on, what you see is just people that were excited to go play.
Right.
And their mind was moving faster than their feet. But
sure.
All the guys, and one of the things, it was first time ever. But we award Victory Club whether we win or lose. We always like to recognize guys that played at a high level.
Yeah.
I went into the staff meeting. I said, well, I got an idea on this, but tell me what you guys think.
Yeah.
The staff unanimously said we're going to give everybody Victory Club this week because we got every single person in the game that was dressed out.
Wow.
So that was really exciting. And then,
that's awesome.
Well, with the exception of one, Neil Thompson, we didn't get him in for a kick, but everybody else got in to play.
Yep.
And I think the thing that jumped out to me the most when those young guys and the second, third team guys got in, and in some case fourth team guys, is that they were still moving the ball. And the defense was going out and getting stops.
Right.
And I think that's really a good sign for the future of what we got is when, you can get those guys in the game, their first college football game, and they're still going out executing at a really high level.
Well, talk about executing at a high level. Your total offense was 600 yards, but you're rushing 387. I think you had 7 or 8 different ball carriers. And again, we talked about just from the rushing side, Banks had 2 touchdowns. Jared Stewart had a touchdown. And even towards the end of the game, Jordan Kern, he also got a touchdown. And then talk to us about Jordan Cox. It's really interesting, your kicker, as I thought he kind of set the tone by kicking the ball out of the end zone because you had the ball at your back to start the first quarter. So they were going against that wind. But they had no returns. So that was pretty sweet. But talk about the 50-yarder. I mean, I'll be honest, I think that could have made it from 60. But it was kind of nice for him as he's just 1 field goal and 1 extra point away of tying the school record and 2 to take the all-time lead for most field goals in a career.
Yeah, Jonah's worked hard. We've talked about him over the course of 4 years, and Jonah's had his ups and downs, right? I mean, there was games where several years ago where he missed several kicks in the game. I know he felt awful about it, and then he has a couple of years where he's in there competing with O'Dane, to try and figure out who's going to be our kicker. And obviously Odie had a tremendous leg. But Jonah has just always been here. He's been a guy that just shows up every single day and puts in the work. This summer he put in a tremendous amount of work with Jaden George to develop that lower body strength, and I think that's what you're seeing. We had a little bit of a wind at his back, but like you said, that thing would have been good from 60. But that was a little bit wind-aided. If he had no wind, he still would have knocked that thing through.
Easily. And then when you guys were going the opposite way, he was kicking it down to the goal line. Into the wind even.
And that makes such a difference, right? When you can kick it out of the end zone and not have to worry about a return, or like you said, he had really good hang time when he was kicking into the wind. He had great hang time, let us get down and cover. It's just a testament to him and his type of work ethic and where he's at. And I know he was frustrated that he didn't get the record last game, and there was opportunities that we could have done it. I think at that point we were ahead by so much. I was like, what are 3 points going to do? He was on the verge of setting a single game extra point record, which we would have got him if we were able to get in the end zone. But he'll get it this week, and there's no doubt he'll leave here as the top kicker in program history.
Absolutely. And the last thing I just want to say is, Coach, what was it like now shifting gears? Because it was wonderful in the booth. We were able to bring back some of the Spartan legends, if you would. We had Bryson Barnes up here. Of course, we had to have Kevin Good. We had Connor Bomstad, the bomber, was up with us during the second half. And just hearing their stories and just what this program, means to them, the fact that they're constantly coming back here as a decade later. And talk to us a little bit what that was like, knowing that you had so many of those Spartan legends here while you were playing. They're watching you, they're seeing you, but then also you had that amazing event the night before, that special dinner. I was wondering maybe if you could talk about that.
Yeah, we kicked it off on Friday night with a dinner, and we had a lot of guys there to come back, and we were able to just really talk about our history. It was great. We had Dr. Lacey come back, and he talked to everybody about just kind of the process that it led to starting football. And then Dr. Smith was back, and it was just great seeing those guys that were so instrumental in me and obviously the launching of this program. But then we were able to also honor Kevin Good that night, and that was really special for us, and I know special for him as well. But, then we came into Saturday. We knew there was a number of guys that were going to make it Saturday and couldn't make it Friday. But, just the number of alumni that came back. There were some guys that, honestly, I haven't seen since the 2014 season. There were guys that were four-year guys and great players for us, like Bryson and like Connor, and life gets busy, right? And they're out building their own lives, and just so proud of them. But we saw guys like Malik Ross back, and Cole Pedke, and just so many of them. It was very humbling to see the number of guys that came back, and then for us to put on such a great show was fantastic, and they were all really excited, really proud of the team that we have.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. All of them said when we were in the booth, all of them said, they commented on, why didn't we have the cannon when we played here? Because I know it was the first time you ever had it.
Yeah, that was.
And you had to use it 9 times.
Yeah. Coach Heck has been working on that all summer, and we finally got it.
That's pretty cool. But they did mention, like, what the heck? Why did we get it?
Yeah.
You know,
awesome.
I didn't say anything on the air, but off the air I would have just said, tight budget at the time.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
But it was great that we got to use it 9 times. Okay, so the Spartans are now 3-1. I know it's pretty weird to say this, but all 4 of your games have been played at home because 2 weeks ago that game didn't happen due to the weather. Now you're going back on the road, and you're now playing your first road game, technically speaking, barring any weather, of course. You're taking on a Central Methodist team that is 0-5. Talk to us what you see on them on film and what you plan to do with the team as you guys make your way to Central Methodist.
Well, what I see on film is that they're a team that is definitely, they don't look like an 0-5 team on film. They've got some talent. They've returned a number of guys, especially offensively, from last year.
Yep.
They've got a freshman that's a wide receiver that is really good, and then a couple new running backs that are pretty good. But they do have some guys back. Defensively, they're gonna come after you. They're gonna try and match up with you best they can. And I think for us, the thing we keep talking about is just that it is about us. That we've got to continue to get better at our base stuff. We've got to continue to execute those things at a higher level. I think that what we've shown is that we don't need a whole lot of bells and whistles and adjustments and all that stuff. We have them, but when we go out and we play with great intensity and we play with great focus and we are doing our job at a high level, we're a really good football team. And that's what we're just trying to continue to emphasize and focus on. So that's what we're going to be doing going down there. Okay. I think that we've had a really good week of practice, so it'll be a good Saturday.
Tell you what, it'd be pretty darn amazing to get the team off to a 4-1 start. I mean, it's going to be the best start in program history, of course. And it's going to be real exciting to see that game. Certainly it's away, so you'll have to check it on. Just go to the MBU Athletics or MBU Football, Twitter or Instagram, and they'll have the live links there for you so you can see the game. And so, Coach, I just want to just tell you what a great – it was so much fun. Yeah. It was. I'm not kidding you. We were trying to look up some stats, and it was pretty funny as we're trying to figure out all these stats and looking at things. But it was just great. The big win, the way you did it, there was so much class. And I do want to make one last point, let you comment on this. What I also thought was great is that game was not chippy whatsoever. I know that I want to give William Wood some credit because they just like we used to do back in the day when we first started. It didn't matter what the score was. They were still playing hard. They were still trying to make plays. They didn't give up. Mm-hmm. It says a lot about that program, that up-and-coming program, considering it was their 5th game ever in school history. But, anything you want to comment on that? Because I thought the sportsmanship, and I just thought, the way that our players represented themselves was exactly what MBU football is all about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would echo that. That's a big deal for us, is that we do things the right way, that we demonstrate character and discipline in how we play, whether we win or lose. We're always going to do it with class, and that was something that I felt like we did really well. And you mentioned it. Hats off to William Woods on how they went about things, you know. And the thing I told Coach Mendez when I shook his hand is, just keep your head up. We've been there. Keep working, and he'll get it going. It's 5 games into and we're celebrating 10 years. So there's a lot of progress that can be made. There's a lot of tough times early on, and it's going to take a strong individual to really get that thing going. But I know he can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the chance to talk to their quarterback, Gabe Siri, because he played at where my daughter played at St. Dominic, and I got a chance to talk to him and his mom briefly afterwards. Said it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. Just keep your head up. It's just great that you're here, you're playing, and it's great to just see you back doing your thing. Because they had a chance to see him play at St. Dominic for 4 years. So.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. That's what I told him. I said, just keep working. You're a tough kid, and they'll be fine. They'll be continuing to get better. Yeah.
All right, Spartan fans. The Spartans take on Central Methodist this Saturday. And we're just really excited that hopefully we can come back with a big W, make the team 4-1. So for Coach B, I'm Guy Danoff. We want to thank you for watching it all right here on the Spartan Digital Network.